Hello, this is H.G. Bailey, and I'd like to announce my next Let's Play series. Stayed away from this series for far too long. I think it's been like 5 years. Holy cow. It's not just an April Fool's joke this time, viewers. This is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. For this LP, I plan to use the 3DS version, unless a lot of you guys, have some very strong objections to that version. There's two main reasons why I would like to use this version of the game instead of any of the other versions that are based on the original Nintendo 64 version. First, the gyroscope on the 3DS helps immensely with the manual aiming mechanics and being much more precise than using like analog sticks. I mean, I can do it. I've beaten the game 100% with analog sticks, but it's much better in the 3DS version, in my opinion. And second, they fixed a lot of bugs and glitches, like the power crouch stab, that I think would make the LP more interesting if I played this version. Of course, I'm certainly not going to be using any of the remaining glitches. However, there are some other mechanics that I would consider unintended, but perhaps not quite a 100% glitch, which I would still ban anyway. There's like a couple ways you can clip links or your enemies' bodies into objects that would make some fights and puzzles a lot easier to perform. I don't want to use the boomerang to clip through objects to pick them up. As much as I love the boomerang in the Zelda games, I don't love it that much. Like, if there's a key or a heart piece that's in a box or something, you can throw your boomerang in a way where it clips through that on the return swing and it picks up the object there. I would not want to do that. Bomb jumping, when you use like the explosion of the bomb to push Link over an obstacle, that would be banned, of course. And finally, moonwalking, when you have Link constantly walking backwards, which for some reason is much faster than running forward. That would be banned. I like to be able to see where I'm walking. I don't know, call me crazy. But I'd also like to limit using Link's rolling forward animation to move faster, since I think it's pretty silly that it's faster to constantly roll forward over and over and over again rather than just straight up running forward. But I will use it on some occasions, like either during a fight or where I practically have to use it to accomplish various tasks within given time limits there. Now, I know what you're thinking, viewers. H.C. Bailey, what about Master Quest? As of right now, I have not played it yet, but I'm certainly interested. What I was thinking about doing was something similar to how I handled the Zelda 1 LP with the 2 quests. As I understand it, the dungeons are completely different, but the bosses are the same, and the overworld is mirrored, but otherwise the same, I think. I was thinking about, like, what I could do is, in the first playthrough, I could play through the game more or less as intended, using a route and boss strategies that would be very easy for new players to follow along with. In the Master Quest playthrough, I could then use a much more optimized overworld route, more like a speed run in a way. And I'd be utilizing more unintended mechanics, but not outright glitches. Like, you could get through the Haunted Wasteland without the Lens of Truth. And, I mean, yeah, you're not glitching your way through, but that's not what they intended for you to do. I could also demonstrate some much quicker and more advanced, but much more difficult strategies in the boss fights too, during Master Quest. So let me know what you think about that. In other news, I've made some upgrades to my main PC thanks to your donations on Patreon. If you'd like to contribute to me on Patreon, I'll put a link in the video description there. Recently, I've upgraded the SSD that I use for the boot drive of my PC from 64 gigabytes to 1 terabyte. It was just constantly running low on space before, so I wanted to fix that. And I also upgraded the CPU, which reduced my video rendering times by 25%, which is quite huge when I'm using so many timelines and screens and special effects with my current 3DS LPs. I wanted to cut it down by more like 50%, but I'm pretty limited with my current motherboard since it's about 7 years old. I can't even use DDR4 RAM on the thing. So I may consider building a new computer to handle, not only rendering videos faster, but also maybe record at 1080p 60 FPS. Right now I can only do 720p pretty good there. But I'll wait until I have a game like Final Fantasy 15 that could use that before investing money into that. I've actually been playing the PS4 version lately, though I haven't gotten very far into it yet, so we're still a very long way from a potential LP, if at all. So, we'll see how that goes. I'm getting into it, though. So thanks for your support, viewers. This is H.G. Bailey, signing off. Have a good day!